Good morning and Jai Hind children. In yesterday's class, we discussed about problem sums with extra information. So, this is exercise 2H on page number 42, and here we have questions that have got some extra information which is not required for solving the for finding the answer to the question. So, what we have to do here is that we just have to ignore the extra information that is given, and we have to use only the information that is required for finding the solution. So children, yesterday we discussed question number 1. I already showed you how to write the statements and then solve this question. Question number 1 we have already done. So today I will discuss with you question number 3 and question number 5. So let us start with question number 3. For a wedding that was to be attended by 750 people, the decorators had to use 1250 flowers in the hall. Now, here in the first sentence itself, you have got two information. The first is that the wedding was to be attended by 750 people. So 750 people were going to attend the wedding, they were going to come for the wedding, and the decorator had to use 1250 flowers in the hall. So the decorator had to decorate the hall with how many flowers? 1250 flowers. Two information you have: number of people that were to attend the wedding and the number of flowers that were to be used. If they had already used 985 flowers, how many more did they have to use? So in the second sentence, there is one more information, and that is if the decorators had already used 985 flowers. So in this statement we come to know that the decorators had already decorated the hall with 985 flowers. They had to use 1250 flowers. They have already used 985 flowers. You have to find out how many more did they have to use. So by looking at this question only, you can understand that total number of flowers that are to be used is this. The number of flowers that are already used is this much. So how can we find how many more they have to use? We can find it by subtraction. But there is this one more information in this question, and that is that the wedding was to be attended by 750 people. So for finding how many flowers they had to use, how many more flowers they had to use, do we need how many people were to attend the wedding? No, it is not required. So this extra information that is given here, it is to test you that whether you are able to pick up only the required information and solve the question, or you get confused with this extra number that is given here. What you have to do is you just have to ignore this 750 and you don't have to use it in this question. If we ignore this first part, that is the wedding was to be attended by 750 people, then the rest of the question is very easy. There is nothing to be done. We will first see how we have to write the statements. Here the first statement will be total number of flowers to be used. The decorator had to use total how many flowers? 1250. So I have written here total number of flowers to be used is equal to 1250. Now next, the number of flowers they already used. Here it is given that they had to use 1250 and they have already used 985 flowers. So the next statement I have written, number of flowers they already used is equal to 985. Now we come to what we have to find out. The question here is how many more did they have to use? How many more flowers they had to use? So the third statement here will be therefore more flowers to be used is equal to 1250, because this is total that was to be used, and minus 985, which is the number of flowers that is already used. So how many more flowers they should use? We will subtract here. For subtracting, we will write these two numbers in proper column according to place value, and then we will minus. Now we cannot minus this 5 from 0. We are going to borrow here. This becomes 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. And when we borrow 1 from here, this 5 will become 4. So 4 minus 8 we cannot do. Again we will borrow from this 2. Here it was 4. Now we borrow 1. It becomes 14. 14 minus 8 will be 6. Now we have borrowed 1 from 2. So 2 will become 1. So 1 minus 9 we cannot do. So we borrow 1 from here. 1 and 1 is already there. 1 we borrow, it becomes 11. 11 minus 9 is 2. So children, I have not cut and written it over here. You can cut and show the borrowing if you want to. And then the number of more number of flowers that are to be used is 265. So after solving problem sums, we always write the answer statement. So answer, the decorators had to use, this is use only, not this D. The decorators had to use 265 more flowers. So this is the answer statement. This is how you are going to solve question number 3. I will be sending a picture of this solution also to you. So I have already explained 1. I have explained 3. Now I will explain question number 5. Because these 3 are were your classwork questions. So I will explain question number 5 also. So let us come to 5. Sarita buys 215 meters of blue cloth, 309 meters of red cloth, 987 meters of white cloth, and 849 meters of green cloth. She makes 986 dresses using only the red, blue, and white cloth. How much material does she use in all? So here first we have to find out what is the information that is extra. How much material does she use in all, we have to find out. And she uses only red, blue and white cloth. But she has bought blue, red, white and green. But she has not used green cloth. That means this information about green cloth is extra. So we have to ignore that she bought 849 meters of green cloth. Again, there is one more thing. She makes 986 dresses. Now for finding out how much material she uses, you don't need how many dresses she made. This is also extra. So here in this question you have got 2 extra information. The meters of green cloth bought and the number of dresses that are made. So we are going to ignore these two. These two questions, these two information, and we will only take these 3 information about blue, red and white cloth, and we will find the material that is used by Sarita. So for this question also we will write statements. So I have already solved it here. Let us see. The first information is Sarita bought, she uses red, blue and white. She uses red, blue and white cloth. So first we will find out how many meters of red cloth she uses. Meters of red cloth she purchased. So here it is Sarita buys this many cloth. So she purchased 309 meters of red cloth. So here we write meters of red cloth she purchased is equal to 309 meters. Next statement will be meters of blue cloth purchased. She purchased also you can write, purchased also you can write, 215 meters. And then third information is meters of white cloth purchased. So how many meters? 987 meters of white cloth was purchased. So therefore, meters of cloth purchased in all, we have to find out how much does she meters of cloth she uses in all. So instead of purchased, you can also write here used. You can also write here used, because in the question it is given how much material does she use in all. So you will write meters of cloth used in all, and you will write 309 plus 215 plus 987, and you will add these three numbers. Why we have added only these three and we have not added the information about green? Because green color cloth was not used, only red, blue and white cloth was used. So we will add these three numbers, 309 plus 215 plus 987, and we will add it, write in proper columns and add, and then we will write the answer statement, that is 1511 meters of material she uses in all. So the question was how much material she uses in all. So we will write 1511 meters of material she uses in all. So children, this is how you have to solve questions that have extra information. Hope this problem solving skill is clear to you, and you will be able to solve the other questions that are homework. Also, you have to do question number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. All 5 questions are to be done in your maths fair notebook. All right, so thank you. I will be sending a picture of these 3 questions along with this video. Okay, thank you children.